Hello, guys, and welcome to a new year. A new year of animation domination. As you know, I uploaded week 9 and 10, and even 11, and I'm going to upload 11 and 12 pretty late too. But a new year for Fox Animation Domination, January 3rd, 2021. And this time we only have 2 episodes: The Dad Feelings Limited from The Simpsons, and the series premiere of The Great North, Sexi Moose Adventure. So, of course, starting with The Simpsons and The Dad Feelings Limited, it's actually my favorite episode this season. I thought it was incredibly on point. It was pretty dang funny, and it even suggests that there might be a continuity change, and I really hope that, because we don't get a lot of light from minor characters like Comic Book Guy and his wife, so it's nice to see that they have a full episode dedicated to them. And while I thought The Road to Cincinnati was pretty decent, it's an episode that kind of grew on me from when I posted the week 8 thoughts. It's not, I wouldn't say that was good, but I thought it was decent. I liked, but I do like how they're going into more of these minor character episodes, because there's episodes that are so rehashed, like the 7-Bear Itch. It just feels so boring when okay, it's the Simpson family again. It's a marriage crisis problem. We've seen it 100 times. It's so boring. It's like there's no effort. It's all lazy. It's literally just recycling the same episode and just changing all the storyboards. That's it. Like, all the frames and the animation has changed. That's it. It's the same story. So, it's nice to have an episode like this. And this one sees, after a Comic Book Guy's wife has to take care of Maggie while paying a visit, it proves that it shows that Kamiko wants kids. And then she wants Comic Book Guy and her to have sex so they can have a kid, but then Comic Book Guy doesn't want kids. So then Marge and Homer decide to take the kids to Comic Book Guy on a cemetery movie night, so then they can spend time with kids and see what they're really like. And Bart, and when Comic Book Guy takes their cell phones away, because Bart and Lisa want to use their phones, but then he wants them to watch the movie. The kids end up really enjoying the movie, and that puts him at ease with the children. But then, of course, Marge and Homer get lost while making out in the cemetery, and when Bart and Lisa turn to Comic Book Guy for comfort, he runs away, and then he solves his problem by going to his childhood home, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And it might suggest that they might have kids the next time they appear. So I'd say I actually thought this episode was pretty dang good. Again, as I said in the beginning, I'm happy we got a quality episode to start off 2021, and this pandemic honestly freaking sucks, so glad for The Simpsons at least to start out strong. But, most of this season hasn't been that good. But I will say that if they keep putting in episodes like this, I would say that The Simpsons can really rebound back. And season 31 proved that The Simpsons can sort of bounce back, because season 31 for the most part was actually pretty dang good. But 32 is kind of going back to the way it used to be. But I will say that if they continue to make episodes like this, my opinion on season 32 as a whole will fully change, and I think I'll like it as much as I like 31. And and again, it's not a rehash of certain episodes. It's interesting. I like the plot direction it goes to. I like seeing the two couples bond over the trivia in the beginning. Even though there could be different ways of doing it. It's a little out of character for Homer too, because Homer's stupid. Why would he know trivia? So, but it's there to get the story a little bit into the direction. I liked the guest voices; they were great. It's actually memorable. It's not clutter. It's funny. It ends a little predictable, but it suggests that continuity can afford the show, which I really like. I like shows with continuity. Disenchantment has been pretty good, because it has an overarching story. And despite The Simpsons being on network TV, they can still have continuity episodes. Like King of the Hill had a ton of them. With Joseph aging in season 5, he grows like half a foot, and his voice changes, and that stays. And with The Simpsons, they've done it many times, like with Patty coming out as gay. You have Lisa celebrating her 8th birthday, and although that hasn't really changed me, I'm just pointing out stuff that's to the show. So yeah, I think this episode was very memorable. You should check it out. I really liked it. And then second and last, the Great North Series premiere, Sexi Moose Adventure. Judy turns 16, and what better way to express your freedom of aging as a teenager by getting a job behind your parents' back? And her dad is saddened by this because she works at the docks with her dad, but Judy wants to, move away from that. And when her dad finds out that she has a job when they go to the mall and get her birthday photo from her work, because that's the only place in town, and then he gets upset at her, and then so then Beef storms off, and all the other family members have to go find him, so all of them split up. Judy finds her dad, who falls off a cliff and twists her ankle. But Beef is worried that Judy is breaking away from him, but Judy reassures that she'll always be there for her dad, even if she's getting a new job. And then Wolf and Honeybee are allowed to move into the guest cabin, and Judy's allowed to go to her job. I thought this was a pretty good start to a promising show. The cast is great. The cast on this show is fantastic. Voice acting is absolutely fantastic. The people behind the show are fantastic. Like regular show, Minty Lou's and Bob's Burgers, Lizzie and Wendy Molyneux. They are big. They're pretty big names in writing. The Molyneux sisters are co-writing the third Deadpool film. I would say they're pretty big. I thought that I know a lot of people don't like the theme song, but I actually thought it was okay. It's kind of stuck in my head, so I think it'll grow on you. There are a lot of theme songs people don't like, but eventually they grow on them. And I thought the comedy was pretty good. There was some funny stuff in it, like when Judy and her imaginary friend, who's voiced by Alanis Morissette herself, are talking about the mall, and Judy can't help mention her crush's downstairs situation, which I thought was really funny. Honeybee says to Wolf that when she wants them to move into the guest house, that if she moved from Fresno, that he can move to his backyard. And there was a pretty funny joke with the 69, and that really made me laugh. And it's only strengthened by the cast because Megan Mullally voices Allison, Judy's boss, and Nick Offerman voices Beef. So when Allison is trying to suggest something to Beef with the 69 joke, it's really funny because they're actually married in real life. So it's only strengthened by their relationship. And I also liked how it was comfortable just throwing LGBT, but it doesn't make a big deal about it. Like in Family Guy and The Simpsons, when one of their characters comes out as LGBT, the show makes a whole episode about them. That may have been acceptable back then, but I think it's good that they're catching up with recent trends. So yeah, it does suffer from a little bit. Some parts aren't very funny. I think like the first few minutes were pretty boring, but it really picks up by the end. The imaginary friend is obviously the same as Jesus from Blessed Hearts, but I think they can somehow make it different a little bit, because Jesus is a pop culture machine, while Alanis, I think, is just more of the actual getting to Judy, whereas Jesus is kind of half and half. He's like, okay, he's either with Jenny or he's a pop culture machine. So we will see. We'll see. I like this. I think the show has a lot of promise. So there you go, guys. There's really not that much. I know I went a little overboard with The Simpsons, but I thought there was quite a bit to talk about, actually. So, of course, again, if you liked my thoughts, you might want to subscribe. There's some videos on the right-hand corner you might like. Week 12 should be coming very soon. And thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.